In the space of 4 days at one racetrack in MN, Michigan, Garrett Mitchell wrecked a $40,000 to win super late model, finished 19th, was told publicly that he did not belong there, had the same car rebuilt, sold out the grandstands for a race carrying his own name, and ran second for 30 laps against one of the greatest super late model drivers in history. In between those 2 nights, a video of a man rolling a tire down the racing surface became the most watched thing he posted all week. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. watched all of it before saying 5 words that ended the argument. Garrett Mitchell is the real name behind Cleetus McFarland. He is 31 years old. He lives in Bradenton, Florida, and roughly 4.8 million people subscribe to his YouTube channel. He owns the Freedom Factory, a motorsports facility of approximately 65 acres in the Bradenton area built around a 38-mile paved oval. That property is where most of his content has been produced for years. The audience was built on drag racing, drifting, burnouts, high horsepower builds, and events designed around anything constructed for speed. For most of that time, his relationship with motorsport was that of a promoter and an entertainer. Then he decided to compete, and the decision was not casual. He set a target that almost nobody in his position had ever set, and he began working toward it in public. The competition record is now longer than most people realize. He has competed in 8 ARCA Menard Series events, and his career best finish is a runner-up result at Talladega Superspeedway in April. He has signed a 2-year part-time deal in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series with Richard Childress Racing. He made his NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series debut at Daytona with Nice Motorsports. And he returned to that series later at Michigan International Speedway. His NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series debut came at Rockingham Speedway in April, where he finished 32nd. His second start in that series came at Nashville, where he spun early in Stage 1, was hit with pit road penalties, and finished 35th in the number 33 Chevrolet fielded by Richard Childress Racing. Those 2 results shaped how the sport viewed him. As of today, he is approved to compete on every track type in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, but in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, he is restricted to short tracks and road courses. The advice he received was consistent from every direction. Dale Earnhardt Jr. said it. Team owner Mark Reddy said it. The instruction was to buy a straight rail late model and go short track racing, because that is where stock car racecraft is actually built. So he bought one. It is a Port City Race Cars late model purchase specifically to develop his skills rather than to produce content. The reasoning behind that advice is technical, and it matters. Short track racing teaches a driver how to manage tires over a long run, how to operate in heavy traffic, and how a stock car changes in balance from lap 10 to lap 60. A driver who makes 3 National Series starts in a year cannot learn those things because he never accumulates the laps. The teenagers he now lines up against have been doing this every weekend for years. Members of his own audience noted that he had sold a jet boat to help fund the program, which indicates how seriously the project was being treated, though that detail has circulated through fan channels rather than through official announcement. The first test was the Tekken 250 battle at Berlin. It was held at Berlin Raceway in MN, Michigan on Wednesday, August 12, 2026. The winner's prize was $40,000. The entry list filled out to 27 cars, and the event ran under the WARA National Tour Rules package. Berlin Raceway is a 716-mile paved oval which measures 438 miles with 13 degrees of banking in the corners and 9 degrees of banking on the straightaways. The layout is closer to round than to rectangular, which means the driver is turning almost continuously. The field included Bubba Pollard, one of the all-time greats of super late model racing, along with Tristan McCoo, NASCAR Cup Series driver Carson Hocevar, NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series champion Ty Majeski, and local and regional champion Evan Shotko. Against that entry list, in the first super late model start of his life, Garrett Mitchell qualified 18th. The race did not finish the way the qualifying run suggested it might. With 14 laps remaining, he lost control of the car, spun down the racetrack, and collected Keith Herp. The contact tore apart the nose of his own machine and the right side of Herp's number 18 car. Both drivers were finished for the night. He was classified 19th. Earlier in the race, Evan Shotko had put him a lap down and had flipped him off in the process. Shotko led much of the night before something appeared to break on the right front of his number 22 machine with just under 15 laps to go. He went hard into the turn 3 wall and finished 16th. That left the victory to be decided between Bubba Pollard and Tristan McCoe, who raced door-to-door until Pollard appeared to bottom out entering turn 3. Tristan McCoe took his first win in the Tecton 250 battle at Berlin. Bubba Pollard finished second. Carson Hocevar finished third. Ty Majeski finished fourth and Boris Jukovic finished fifth. The interview afterward was not defensive. Garrett Mitchell was asked how the night had gone and his answer was blunt. "Well, I just suck," he said. "I just suck. I was fighting for my life out there trying to just learn this thing. Got a couple of good runs and then I would overheat my right rear trying to overdrive it." That is a technical admission as much as an emotional one. Overheating the right rear tire is what happens when a driver asks more of the car than the tire can deliver over a run. And it is one of the first lessons a late model driver has to absorb. He apologized to the other team and said he hoped their car was not too badly damaged. He also said he had enjoyed the experience. The reaction online did not match the tone of the interview. NASCAR Regional posted video of the incident on X and the responses arrived quickly. One of them stated that he had never heard of brakes. The clip circulated widely, detached from the qualifying result, detached from the fact that it was a first start and detached from the quality of the field. That is the version of the night most people saw. Dale Earnhardt Jr. addressed it directly during the Ask Jr. segment of the Dale Jr. download. He began by describing the sequence of events exactly as it had happened. "Cleetus is trying to drive race cars," Earnhardt said. He pointed out that the criticism and the advice had come from the same crowd. So he gets a pro late model just like everybody told him to do and he goes to a short track and he races. He then went to the part of the night that had been ignored entirely, which was the qualifying run. He qualified like 18th, pretty damn good first time. Earnhardt said Berlin, all these great cars, all these tough competitors in a big race. He noted that the driver had not been running last, that he had been somewhere inside the top 20, and that he had worked extremely hard for it. Then Earnhardt turned to the wreck itself, and he framed it as an ordinary event rather than an indictment. "Spun out, wrecked. Who hasn't done that?" he asked. He extended the question to every driver listening, asking who had not made a mess of a first race. What clearly bothered him more than the incident was the response to it. "And there were so many people being about it," Earnhardt said. "And it's like, what do you expect? The guy's doing what you told him to do, running a short track. And yeah, he wrecked. What wrecks happen?" He then pointed forward to the second race and delivered his verdict on the whole week. He did incredibly well. He did way better than I thought he was going to do in that car in Berlin. And you know what? He freaking loved it. He loved it. He was texting me about how much fun it is. Dirty Mo Media posted the clip publicly with a caption stating that Cleetus running Berlin is exactly what everyone wanted to see him doing. 2 nights after the wreck on Friday, August 14th. The same racetrack hosted the Michigan 100 in front of another sold-out crowd. That event is a 100-lap race for Crown Victoria police interceptors fitted with nitrous, and it ran alongside a burnout competition built as burnout rivals. The moment that travailed furthest from that night involved no engine at all in the tire roll competition. Participants send a loose racing tire down the racing surface and attempt to guide it through a narrow opening in a barrier several yards away. The video shows one attempt staying upright, tracking toward the target, and slipping cleanly through the gap, at which point the crowd erupts and the competitor throws his arms into the air. Garrett Mitchell shared the video in a collaborative Instagram post with 1320 Video, writing, "The tire roll has become one of the best parts of the event." The following night was the one that mattered competitively. On Saturday, August 15th, Berlin Raceway hosted the inaugural event of the Cleetus McFarlane Late Model Series, a 75-lap feature named the Big Lake 75, paying $20,000 to the winner. The event ran under the War Rules package with technical inspection handled by Ricky Brooks and his team. Tickets sold out. The crew had rebuilt the wrecked car in time with most of the repair work completed by Thursday. He qualified well and then he ran second for roughly the first 30 laps of the race in a field that included Bubba Pollard. Dylan Stovall won the race and collected the $20,000 prize, finishing ahead of Bubba Pollard. Garrett Mitchell used up his tires during that opening run, and once they were gone, he faded out of contention. Reports of his final position differ, so the reliable part of the result is the opening 30 laps and the reason he could not sustain them. The series itself was planned months earlier. Speaking in March, he explained the concept. "Yeah, my plan with that deal is to just start my own late model series that will travel with the Crown Vics," he said, adding that the Crown Victoria program runs about 6 events each year and that he wanted to attach a pro late model component to weekends he already promotes. That structure serves 2 purposes at once. It gives him repeated laps in a late model, and it gives regional late model racers a paying event in front of an audience that grassroots promoters spend years trying to build. As of August 17, no second race in the Cleetus McFarlane Late Model Series had been officially announced, and the remaining late model dates at the Freedom Factory are listed under other sanctioning. The next step is a surface he has almost never raced on. Garrett Mitchell will make his dirt late model debut at the Gateway Dirt Nationals, running from December 3 through 5 at the Dome at America Center in St. Louis, Missouri on a temporary clay oval constructed indoors. He will drive the number 13 race Darthouse car owned by Gateway promoter Cody Smurr. He has already completed a test session at East Lincoln Speedway in Stanley, North Carolina. And Cody Smurr told Flow Racing that the test went well and that the driver enjoyed it a great deal. His only previous dirt experience came in the 2023 Bristol 1000 for Crown Victorious on a dirt-covered Bristol Motor Speedway. His own assessment of the test was direct. "I had so much fun, George. I feel like this more naturally aligns with my skill set. So, I'm having a blast," he told Channelity George Siciliano before December. He hopes to test once more alongside NASCAR Cup Series driver Carson Hocevar, who competes in dirt lake models for Spy Motorsports, because racing near another car is the one thing a solo test cannot provide. "I got to get a little bit of passing data," he said before adding, "Either way, we're going to send it." On the NASCAR side, his next confirmed start is the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race at Talladega Superspeedway on October 23, where he returns to the number 4 Chevrolet fielded by NIA Motorsports. He has already indicated that this will close out his season, telling listeners on Bald Eagles, "We don't have any more races this year besides the one Talladega race. That's it. The long-term objective has never changed, and it is the Daytona 500. That is the full week." A wreck at 19th, a public pile on a rebuilt car, a sold-out event under his own name, 30 laps in second place against Bubba Pollard, a viral tire, and an indoor dirt debut booked for December. The argument Dale Earnhardt Jr. made was never that Garrett Mitchell is fast yet. It was that he is doing the work in the one place where every mistake is filmed, distributed, and scored by people who have never attempted it. So the question is yours to answer. Is Dale Earnhardt Jr. right to defend him? Or does Garrett Mitchell still have to earn that respect on the racetrack?